Beat around the bush.
Hey, beautiful people. We are back to our discussions on Tuesday and to our favorite radio show, Beat Around the Bush. Today we will discuss on a very, very interesting topic that is about the circle of life and our life cycle. For this discussion, I invited two of my dearest friends. One is just sitting next to me, smiling. That is Kinga from Hungary. Hey.
Hi everyone.
And the other one is sit a bit more far away. That is Chetan from India. Hey, Chetan.
Hey Andrea,
How are you today?
I'm doing. How are you?
I'm also really good, and I'm really excited for the discussion that we will start today. But
Same here.
before we start, I want to invite everyone to go to our Facebook page, Beat Around, um, and check our event, Circle of Life radio show. And please go there as you listen to the radio and comment and share your questions, share your opinions. Maybe you don't agree with some of our opinions, so please go there and participate with us. This radio show is supported by the Center of European Initiatives, where we volunteer, and the Erasmus Plus program. And this said, let's go for the topic. Are you ready?
Yeah, you're ready?
Very excited.
Okay. So, we all born, and one day we will die. And in the meantime, we grow, we live, we learn, and this is life as we experience it. But our perceptions about life and are quite subjective, and the way we behave, our rituals, the way we think, it's very different. And sometimes I think we question ourselves: what the hell am I doing here? And this would be my first question to you guys: is have you ever questioned yourself about this? What the hell am I doing here? And if you found some answer for that, please share. So maybe let's go for the ladies first.
Okay.
Kinga.
So the question is like, have I ever asked myself the question,
Yeah.
what the hell am I doing here? Well, for sure, certainly. But like even literally, like what the hell am I doing? Like in Bulgaria, stars a corner. What is the point of all this? But yeah, of course. A lot of times I'm thinking about, okay, but what's the point? Like why? What the hell am I like here? And in this moment and in this body in this situation, of course, I asked myself this question many times.
And when you ask yourself this question, what does it come out of it? More questions, or
Generally, I just think, I don't know. So why make my head ache thinking too much on it?
okay? And you, Chetan, have you ever questioned yourself about this?
Yes, yeah, but not anymore because through meditation I have come up with a few of the answers which I feel is right. That's my perception, and also I could relate the same answers in some of the books as well. So yes, many times it happened in my life earlier when I've asked myself what I'm doing here, why I've taken the birth, reincarnation, everything. There are many questions I used to, it's like these questions are never ending, and that's the beauty about life. Because if you have all the answers, there is no joy in living then. So it's a beauty about life, but we all are living at certain level. So yes, obviously, even I had the same question many time in my life earlier.
Yeah, it's more about the questions and not as much about the answers, because we cannot find them at least.
Yeah, it's. I
You
think
know.
it's kind of like an allegory of going to a certain destination, and then the road is more important than
Then
the destination itself.
Absolutely, absolutely. Journey is always exciting than the destination. I agree on that.
um, uh, in this thinking about life and what we are doing here and with what kind of importance do we give to our lives. Today I was talking about this with Kinga in our lunchtime. This
Yes.
discussion started way earlier, but not live. And it's very interesting because sometimes I also question myself about this. When we think about ourselves in the universe and in a more broad way of the universe, the world, the cosmos, we are such tiny little things, and sometimes maybe we feel that we are not that important. Like our life, maybe is it important our life in this? If we see it in this broader perspective, or is it just some insignificant thing? What is the importance of our life if we think in this way?
Well, if you let me quote from a cartoon series that is going on in the TV show. They had this song about the meaning of life. When all the planets started singing to these 12-year-old kids that their life is totally meaningless in the scheme of the universe. Uh, I would say that it's not true actually. Like it's all about the perspective. Because if you think that your life is important, then your life is important, at least for you, and that is what matters, I think.
So it doesn't matter how broad the universe is and the time. If we think about history and time and even the life of a planet or something like that, it's all about perspective, as you said. It can be less, but
Yes,
the
but
importance is what you give to it.
yes, like exactly. Like, how can you expect that a universe that is millions and thousands of millions of years old to have give any meaning to your life, which is it might be, I don't know, 80 years, 90 years, maybe 100 years, but still, compared to these thousands of millions of years, it's such a short time period that what could make your life actually important is you and those people who are around you.
What is your perspective, Chetan, on this? Chetan,
Hello.
can you hear us?
Yes, yes, yes. I could
Okay.
hear.
So, what is your perspective? Did you hear the question?
Yes, yes. I've heard the
Okay,
question.
okay.
Okay. You're saying that the universe is so vast that at times we feel that we are not important, but it's nothing like that. Because if you see the perspective of a flower in a big garden, the flower blossoms irrespective of what anybody feels about it or not. Or having said that, the flower knows in just a matter of 2 days it is going to wither. But if you compare that thing with our life, we obviously even we don't know when we are going to die. It's very unpredictable. But at the same time, we have to be like that flower in the big garden, wherein we just our work, as long as we are living, we have to just blossom and be our best. That's it. What I feel.
Yes, but that is like what I said is like your life would be important if you live it for yourself, I
True.
think.
True.
Yeah, I also see it like that, uh, in a sense of anyway. It doesn't matter how long do we live, but we are part of it still. So it's important. And come on, if we don't care and if we don't give importance, who will, right? So
Right.
we are the first ones that have a role on this, and yeah, I totally agree with you on this. We are a part of it. We are still a part of the universe. I would always say like that. Yeah, yeah. It doesn't matter how big it is. I'm a part of it, and everything
It's
influences
like
everything.
somehow it sounds like when you're a big organization is making a huge event, and you say, oh, I bought a chocolate for them, so I'm a part of it.
Yes.
And I could say I'm an organizer.
I'll give you one more example. In case you're standing on a beach and the night and you see a night sky, and you see lot of millions of stars out there. So what do you think? How many stars I should remove that? I mean to say, I'm sorry if I'm putting it right. There's no particular one star which is making that universe so that sky so beautiful. It's a group of them. So you don't think so when we see above the sky and even the stars look at us in the same way that there are stars because you are even we are the stars for the stars above. I feel so that way.
It's all about what it's all about uh, us being a part of something, and connecting with everything that is
We have
around us,
seen
as
ourselves and I
Kinga was
agree with
saying.
Kinga. It's all about perception. What you feel about you, it's
Hmm.
what happened to you.
Yeah. Still, about life, and well, about life, because when we talk about that, we also talk about life. So, my question would be: do you think that life really ends? Does life really ends?
Okay, life really ends.
Yeah, there is an end in life, or not. There is a finishing point in
Well,
life.
I think that for that to answer that question, we should first define what life actually is,
It also depends on the
right?
perspective, of
Yes,
course.
yes.
So maybe let's go. Okay, if we go for physical life,
Like biological life, yeah,
yeah,
for sure,
biological
for sure.
life.
Every biological and physical, even particles, they expire and then they fall apart.
And what would be the other one?
The metaphysical one, I guess, if we are talking about the physical
Physical
one,
and
it's
the
not the physical,
metaphysical.
yes.
Okay, for that one, does it really end? It's a continuum. There is
Like
anything after?
it's constant. I feel. Uh, I feel that there's an end to the physical body, but not to the soul, which is inside the body. It keeps on going. It keeps on just as we change clothes, the spirit changes bodies. As it's as simple as that. There's no end to it,
So
and
it will always be, right? The
will always
spirit will
be.
always be and is always were and it's
Yes,
just
if
it just exists.
one life ends, the spirit takes the whatever as per his choice. It takes another body of a male, female, and whatever it wants. So the spirit is just like a spinning earth. It keeps on going. In case you are not going to wake up early in the morning, but still the sun is going to rise. So it's like that. The natural process is going to happen. So spirit is always there. Spirit is the but yes, the body is going to end, and that has to be, otherwise you'll get bored with the same body no matter how much you live. But obviously at certain point of time even the spirit needs change, so it happens like that.
It's a really interesting
Well, I
perspective.
personally feel that this spirit, if you compare this process with going to an amusement park, when you go to an amusement park and you have lots of rides to enjoy, so I feel the spirit is like that only. It comes to an amusement park, it enjoys the ride, and once it is bored, it goes to the another amusement park or through the another body. Because and that happens with if you see that whatever you fear in your life you almost has the same recurring instances in your life. So it happens like that. When you go to an amusement park, you are fearful with a few rides, to sit in few rides, bigger rides, and not with some. So until and unless you come about to that fear, you will keep taking births. It's in the layman's language. You
That's
have to. It's
yeah.
a picnic. You have to enjoy.
That's a really interesting example. The amusement park, like the spirit is just there for the ride. It's really
Then you can
interesting.
change the roller coaster, and
Yes,
and
yes.
you're
It's
a
a
bit
amusement
afraid
park.
of some of them, and yeah, it's a really interesting
So the whole
way to
universe is a
compare. Yes.
this is an amusement park. You have to take in that way. You just have to enjoy life.
Yeah, and if you see it as an amusement part, you always connect it with something that you enjoy and that you experience and that you should try to
Obviously,
be amused with. That's life.
the bigger roller coasters makes you feel fearful, but obviously you have an excitement to sit in and experience that. You can't stand and just sit, see people going there and enjoying. I'm sure you must be. It's happened with me also. You feel fearful, but the main joy
Oh
is
yes,
just going
totally.
there and sitting and experiencing it. So I think that does the same thing with the bodies.
Yeah, yeah. We always fear a bit the unknown and the unexpected. So yes, it's interesting. But continuing on that, I was wondering because a lot of people have different perspectives, and this comes not only, of course, it comes from religion, it comes from beliefs, it comes from your personal life experience and in what you believe, and. Some people I met some people on the way that believe that no, we are here, we are living, and when we die, that's it, it's over, it's done. So we have this life, and we should enjoy it, and that's it. And my question would be, uh, do you think that someone that has that believes in this would experience life in a different way because they believe that it's the only chance um, that they have, so they would live more intensely, or there is no difference between someone that believes that the soul remains, as you were saying, only the physical body dies, or someone that believes that no, this is the only opportunity that we have, so we should enjoy it to the fullest.
Well, I think it could be like it would be quite obvious for me this answer because when you have a chocolate that is like only one chocolate, you savor it, you keep it for later, and you try to take care of it and just cut it in little pieces and eat it in small bites because that's the only one. But when you have like a whole pack of chocolates, you eat two or three right away. Well, Andrea does at least.
That's me.
But yeah, but I think that gives you some kind of I don't know, just you are just a bit too the thought that this is your only life. It might be always in the back of your head, just saying, "Oh, this is my life. This is the one life." Like the saying with the this that is really popular nowadays, YOLO. You only live once, which is in one sense can make people do crazy stuff because you only live once. But in the other sense, oh no, I only live once, so I need to take care of this life and I need to be really careful and I need to preserve it. But why do you preserve it for? I mean, this is your life. I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
like now it reminds me of it's like with money. I don't know why
Might
it
be,
came
yes.
this idea to me. It's like no, no, I need to save it, I need to save it, no, I need to save it because and then
Yes, but it's a strange word
yeah.
when money has the same sense and meaning as
No,
life.
no, no. It was just the you know what I mean. I think. um, uh, but yeah, yeah. Chetan, please, you can share your perspective also.
Okay, my perspective on this is it's like Andrea. I personally feel what difference does it make? For example, if you're saying there is only one life, and or there could be there could be possibility there are many lives, but in that case, I would suggest. I agree with Kinga. In case you have only one life and that gives you a reason to be happy and enjoy it to the fullest, that's great. If because that reason is satisfying, satisfying satisfying you. But in case that reason is making you fearful about it, that and you're fearful with death, then there is no use of that thing, because somewhere, for example, you have 1 day or 2 day to live. Every moment you have to enjoy. So in case your perspective that we have a limited moment gives you happiness, that's good. But if it is giving you fear, so obviously that's not good for you. And I here I can suggest the readers could read this, the listeners could read this book, Many Lives, Many Masters, wherein the psychologist is wherein the book is written by a psychologist, Dr. Brain Weiss, and he's explained so beautifully about many lives, because he was treating a patient wherein he was under influence or hypnotized. He took that patient to his childhood to check what is the cause of his fears. But when he has taken that patient in the childhood, after some time that patient has started telling the stories about the past lives, and there's a whole book written on it. It's beautiful book. So after reading that book, I even my belief on the many this different uh, role of our lives, there are many lives that it has been
It
strong.
changed. Yeah, I agree with you in this part of also the two perspectives about the fear. I think maybe what would happen would be uh, when you say that the person would live more intense in a more intense way, maybe compared with someone that has a bunch of chocolates, as Kinga was saying, it's like it's more relative. And if you only have one, you live it more intense in a more intense way. But living more intense, it's not always only positive and enjoying, but it's also more stressful because you have this time that is passing, and a lot of situations in your normal life that you cannot totally control, and then it comes with stress, and you feel more pressure. So yeah, I believe in I understand that sense of being more intense and coming with more fear,
Hmm.
because you know that you will die, and
That is
Well,
going to
then the time
happen.
is
Why
passing.
you have to worry about it? That is already that is going to happen. So why you have to feel fearful?
oh yeah, but for those people who don't feel that there is something after it and there is something bigger going on, maybe it's like must be really scary, because it's like, when you're falling asleep and you're not dreaming, you are not conscious, you have no idea what is going on. And for that, for eternity, when you believe in this nothingness for eternity, and that was your chance, this 80 years on earth, or more or less, or whatever, it must be really really scary. And I think that is why people actually fear the unknown, and because they have no idea, they cannot control that.
Yeah, I agree with that, because yes, you can think, oh, okay, it's my only chance. I will live it to the fullest and enjoy. But you can also think, oh no, this is my only chance, and every minute that is passing, I have less time and less time and less time to go to this mm, something that it's nothing. So it's yeah, it comes with the fear for sure. Um, Still, in the life, do you think that things happen for a reason, or is it everything totally random, like it's totally by coincidence? What do you think, Chetan?
I don't think there are coincidences here. Everything has a reason behind it. Whatever is happening has a reason behind it. There are no coincidences. Because if I go back to the same example of amusement park, so I I I think if I am fearful about sitting in one ride, and all my life I have been I have lived that fear. So in the next life, maybe my soul will take me to the same place, so I can rise above that fear. At, in a layman's term, I can say that. But there are no coincidences. It happens. There's always a reason. Every moment, no coincidence. It's always the life. The universe is as perfect as it can be. It's as perfect. Our lives are as perfect as sun and moon. There's a time of rise, setting the sun. It's everything is perfect.
But do you
And
believe that we have a free will?
yes, absolutely, we have. Absolutely, we have a free will to do that. And that if you connect all these things that were what Kinga was talking about, fear, that if we have a limited number of days, we feel fearful at times. All these things brings me to the this religion, because when the people feel fearful, instead of uh, listening to their own intuition, they go to the priest and all, to their religion gurus. So
Mm-hmm.
instead of all these things, the recent question you asked, that about the coincidences and all, the problem is all these questions has answers, but the best answers in the whole world is the answer within. We have to go within, but we go to the our religion gurus and all, and they only share what they know about it. And since we have so much faith on them, we feel it's right. So, and it takes a lot of energy to go within, because you have to stop your mind, you have to stop your thoughts, you have to control your thoughts and go within and ask yourself. But we don't do that. We go to the some gurus and ask. So all these questions has answers, but the best answer is within us only. So I feel there is no coincidence, not at all. Even I am talking to you. It's not a coincidence. I'll give you a small example, Andrea, how we met. We met through a common friend when you were in India,
Yes.
and and after uh, the last time when we were discussing about happiness. So somewhere it was not a coincidence. My coming to the radio was confirmed, and you are the source of it. So whatever is there, it's never a coincidence. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a really, really interesting perspective because I have quite the opposite view on the things. Like for me, I feel at least that everything that happens, the main thing that moves things, like the whole mechanism of the universe, it's totally coincidental. Like the biggest uh move, like the biggest piece of the whole universe, and this whole machine that is revolving and is going on for eternity, or maybe not, is totally coincidental. Like where it doesn't necessarily, the cause for the universe and existence, it's there is no cause, for me at least, I feel.
It's really interesting. We have
Yeah, we have.
totally opposite.
Yes.
It's interesting. I, for me, I, I feel that a lot of things that happen are coincidence, but sometimes there are things that I think, oh no, this cannot be a coincidence. This somehow uh, was supposed to be. And sometimes in life, I feel these situations. It's like I don't know. I used to say that the universe. Oh, it's the universe. Normally, I say, oh, it's the universe. Look, this happened. How can it be? It's the universe. It's the universe. um,
I,
uh,
Andrea,
yes,
sorry to interrupt you.
sure,
Yes,
sure.
please carry. No,
Say,
I was
Chetan.
you were talking about free will and this coincidence. If I have to give you an example, for example, you're sending your kid out to play. Okay, so it doesn't matter to you if he is playing cricket or any other game. Obviously, you will be concerned that he should not hurt himself or herself, but you give that child a free will to go out and play, and you put that child in a and you know that the environment wherein you have sent to him is safe. He'll be safe, but which game he is going to play, it's his choice. And that's the way our life works. The soul has came into this body, and we have a free will to do anything. And the if you see if you say that God is like our parents, so God knows the earth is the parent earth where we live. It's he has put us in a safe environment, and it's on us that how we are, which game we are going to play. It happens like that.
Yeah,
So
it's as we were saying in the beginning. All of this depends on our beliefs and our perspectives, and it's I think it's also interesting when we discuss this, and so that we can notice that uh, the diversity that there is in the world,
right,
because everyone can have a different perspective on this, and
yeah, that's
some
very
people
yeah,
believe that also that everything is predetermined. And I remember I had this discussion with someone, um, and they were saying, yeah, you think you have free will, but you don't have, because it's kind of illusion that our free will is it's an illusion that you think
Yeah, that
you can
everything is
choose something, but
predetermined, right?
everything is predetermined. So also there is people that believe in this other perspective, um, which for me it would be difficult to to believe, because I don't know. I think I need some kind of freedom.
You
It's
need freedom,
strange.
but you need structured freedom,
Yes.
right? So
So
you
that's
need,
it. Some
yeah, it's the universe. It's the universe, but you can do it because you have the freedom to do it, right?
yes, yes. I like that balance. Not total freedom, because then it would be a bit of a mess for
Yes,
me.
but I especially like in my theory of how things work, and it seems to work out in the like the wildest particles of the universe, which is the quantum particles, is that nothing. It's everything is a chaos, and that is the natural order of things is chaos, and natural order is chaos. Okay, so even like the definition is a contradiction. It's like I like this idea that everything keeps like kind of like the yin and yang. It's like everything has the exact opposite inside itself.
right,
So everything is contradicting itself, and so when there is an effect, there might not be a cause, and when there is a cause, there might not be an effect. And I think it could be true to the universe, but it's just really hard to grasp this concept. So it's just my opinion of how things work. But I like to find contradicting things around me, and I'm searching for these contradictions, because for me this is my freedom. This is my
The freedom
my
to
freedom.
find
Yes.
these contradictions.
Yes, and this is what is keeping, like I know that it's still going on, it's still going on, it's still there because it's contradicting, you know. When
It's
something good happens to you and then something bad happens to you, that's life. That's good because
like,
it's
oh,
still
it's
going
good to
on.
know, because yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like that was the system, the contradictory system. It's
Yes.
the safe
Yes, it's
system,
safe.
because
It's
it's a
safe. Yeah.
contradiction.
Yes.
Okay, this is another level of metaphysics. But yeah, very interesting. Chetan, you said something in the before about sometimes that people need to go to the priest and ask for this advice, and all. And my next question is a bit related to it. It's about children. Should we talk about this with children? Is there a need to introduce them in some religion or in some belief, to make them feel more safe, or to help them to deal with more difficult situations, or not?
okay,
I think education is always important in any topic. Like if you talk about it, then you are thinking about it. And if you're thinking about it, you might have your own thoughts and you might grow into your own way of living your life, because that is what should be,
Hmm.
in my opinion.
Uh, but okay, talking about the topic. But imagine, because I was having this discussion with a friend before, more into faith. I need my child to believe that there is some entity or something like that in the world, so that I don't know. he could deal better with different adversities in life.
But I think that situation, like what you explain, it could be like believing in Santa Claus. It's, for a kid, there are some things kids still believe in magic, and I think magic exists actually in the world, just in a different sense. But they still are open to everything, and I think it's important for them to use their imagination and imagine that there is someone in any entity. But the important thing is that they know that there are other ways of thinking, and they are thinking for themselves, and the parents don't choose what the child should believe in, and they force it on the child. But yeah, talking about it is good, I think.
Chetan, what is your opinion?
And yeah, I feel that religion and education spoils the child. It really spoils the child because
Again,
Religion
again, we
or
are on
education?
opposite.
You would put religion and education in the same, or
no, 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 it's not at all the same. Education, which religion you tell me one religion which is not fear based? At one point of time, at one side we are saying that God has given a free will. At other side we are saying if you do this, if you do that, God will punish you. What kind of free will is that? And I respect all religion, but I have problem with this kind of mentality. When they say don't do this, if you do this you will go to hell. Arey, my God has given me a free will to do anything. So if he has given me a free will, if I do this thing, why I'm going to go to the hell? What kind of free will is that? God is not so stupid that he will give a free will with the terms and conditions. So I have this problem with the religion. Otherwise, I respect religion. The religion is beautiful. It teaches you to have faith, to have belief. But but the bigger issue is there. If you see in most of the religion, including mine, I say the people have built the businesses around it, and the businesses have built the businesses out of fear only, because you have to, if your child is born, you have to do this for the under your religion. Otherwise you're not following your religion, otherwise God will punish you, and to do this you have to spend so much of amount.
yeah,
So
yeah. I think on that, Kinga, it's kind of what Kinga was saying when she was saying that it's important to talk with the child about this, but not impose some
not
belief
obviously.
or something like that, and to show that there are different perspectives out there in the world. It's
There is
not everything
I
like this or like that.
You see, I feel if love is a universal language and love is a universal religion, and if that happens, we will not see people fighting at the borders. We will not see people have differences with each other. We will not see people are competing with each other. If everyone follows the one religion, that is love. That's it. Because in case everything is love, so why there is no chances of fear? But yes, the fear has, because the Kinga and you were earlier saying that there are many people who say the life is there is many time it happened that life sucks and all. Obviously it has to happen, because unless there is no opposite of love, how you're going to experience that? Unless you have not experienced the tallness or shortness, you can't experience the opposite. It's yin and yang. I don't know if relates to that theory, because to experience something you have to experience the opposite of it. You have a best friend. Why that friend is the best friend of yours? Because you have people who were not behaving the way you wanted to be, they you wanted they should behave. So you have a one person who is behaving exactly the same way. That's why that person is your best friend. It happens with every form, with every aspect of life. I have, for example, I have a money problem. Yes, okay, I'm rich tomorrow. Okay, now know how it feels to be rich. So to feel the goodness, you have to go through the badness, and it's a circle of life. It keeps on the situation
Yeah,
and
it's about
circumstances.
the contradict, also
I
the
feel
positive, the
the
negative,
religion,
the yin and yang that we were talking
And
about.
again, a contradiction. This is
Yes.
like we are proving my theory actually with this radio show.
so the religion, I
But when
don't
we were
I
talking about education, I think Kinga was she meant education in a sense of meant education in a sense of talking about
Yes, like
passing
exactly.
information.
If you share the information that it is like this, it is written like this, but you don't have to think about it like this.
Right.
You don't have to think on the negative parts, because I think in most religions the common thing is, as you said, love. That love everyone and love people, and love everything in the world, because you are the same as them, and they are the same as you. And I think that is an important message. And if you can convey it with religion, then you convey it with religion. And then if you teach different religions, not just one, but different religions, and educate kids on different religions and how these work and how that work, they will be able to differentiate later on life and choose if they want to join one, or if they don't agree with any of those, or if they have their own idea. But in order to be able to choose, you have to know what to choose from,
Right. And you
right?
don't, I agree that you don't, that even you should give your child a free will, not to impose that you have to believe in this.
Yes, it's also
You
also
don't.
true.
So it's the child is like it's a blank paper. Whatever you write in it, he started to believe in that. And the problem is most of the parents, almost every parent is like that, because if whatever beliefs I have, I'm surely going to tell my child, okay, I believe in all these things, and somewhere, some at some point, even he is going to believe in the same way. But yes, I agree with Kinga. I have to educate him that these are my beliefs.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
that's it.
compulsory
Yeah,
that you
exactly.
should
Yeah,
adapt all these things. You form your own persuasion by meditation or by any way, whatever you want.
yeah,
I
just
agree.
yes, to talk, and that's it. And we were talking a lot about fear and how this is related to religion, but going back to the topic of life and death, um, my next question would go more to the death part, and would be, should we fear that?
Should we fear death? Mm, uh, I don't think so. I mean, it doesn't matter if you fear it or not. It's going to happen, right? So
Right.
what's the point of stressing about stressing about it and fearing it? Of course, sometimes you cannot control your emotions, and sometimes you have this fear. But in the end, I think no, you shouldn't.
Uh, and also related with this question, we can talk about both. If we know that anyway everyone will die, why do we attach to people so much, and then we suffer when they die?
Why do we have like relationships with people? Because that's human nature. You need to experience the like exactly as Chetan was saying previously. You need to experience the joy of having a friend and the loss and the pain of losing a friend. It is all part of life. You have to experience either one of the opposite feelings in order to be a whole, right? At least I think that it should be like that.
I agree, and I think the most important thing is to be conscious about what you just said. Because a lot of times you experience them, but you don't have that consciousness of, yes, you experience positive things, you experience negative things, you you relate, and you um, you connect, and then you suffer, but to accept also the suffering as you accept the connection. um, uh, Chetan, do you want to talk a bit about if we should we fear death? We talked already a bit on this, I think.
No, I agree with King. You fear or not, it's going to happen. You can't change it, and nobody, even the richest man on the planet, is not going to change it. And that's why if you see, most of the rich people has a habit of waking up early and exercising, because they know that physical health is more important. Money is easy to earn. Even they know this philosophy. That's why they focus more on health. And coming to the next question, you asked about when we attach with people and when they die, we cry. I personally feel everything boils down to self-love. I love myself the most. If you see a group picture, you always see yourself first, not your colleagues, because we love ourselves first. If somebody dies who was very near to us, it's very funny to say that, but I personally feel we cry because we feel that the person who is gone, that means what I used to feel when I'm with that person. When I'm with that person, I used to feel great, but not anymore because he has died. So it's everything boils down to self-love.
It's
I
also an
love my.
egocentric feeling, kind of.
Uh, it's like it's a self-love. We love ourselves so much, and that's why we love this body. Those people who love, who fear that are who has gone to the extreme level of self-love. They have they are so attached with this body. They are so attached with materialism. They fear that. But if you see the great gurus, the great masters who have walked on the earth, they have not feared the death. For example, the Jesus was crucified, but I have a question here, and Jesus has done a lot of miracles, but is it not possible for him to stop that crucifixion? Well, obviously, it was possible for him, but he didn't do that. He wanted to get crucified. Even he didn't fear death. So, if you see religion in this way, if you form your own perception, so obviously you'll understand life more. Jesus, if Jesus had power to give eyes to a blind man, so even he had a power to stop that crucifixion, but he didn't do that. Because it was a
Hmm.
process, he accepted that. Even he enjoyed that thing, and whatever happened at resurrection and all. But at that moment, he didn't stop that moment. Even the great person, the great God, if you say like Jesus,
Yeah,
accepted
he
that.
accepted that. Yeah.
So who are we? And he accepted with joy. At that point of time, if you read the Bible, he didn't say, please stop.
Yeah,
He
this is
just
something that we can totally
ah,
see in different religions, actually, as
yes,
you were
and
saying,
he
in the different masters. Yeah,
yes,
it's
and
common.
he
It's a
said
common.
that bless the people who are doing this. He said to God because he knew that he is not that body; he's a soul. And if you see the all the religion, be it be Muhammad, be it be Krishna, be it be Gautam Buddha, if you see, they knew that death is going to come. They just live their life to the fullest,
Yeah,
and that's why
yeah.
they're the masters.
Um, yeah, it's very interesting if we when we think about this egocentric perspective that we have. There is a interesting discussion also on the Facebook page related with the meaning of life and how people try to do something or have this pressure that they want to make a change or they want to leave a mark. And sometimes there is this pressure to see some result. Um, what do you think about this? Is this what is the importance of to have this meaning or to do something in this life? And also, is there such a thing of ruining your life? These concepts that are quite related with each other, like uh, ruining your life or uh, wasting your life.
Okay, so first of all, thank you, B, for the comment because it's my friend. Okay, so yeah, I think that it's an interesting thought. I think if we think about the mechanism of the universe there, I feel that we are all somehow connected and all the same, like the effect of the same things, and essentially we are all the same. So of course, uh, like we could simplify it as living lives, different lives, and of course there would be some steps when you make mistakes. But essentially, I think in the end of the road, there is no, like, you didn't ruin it. You lived it to the fullest that you could in that situation, in that place, and in that position that you had in your life. And you did, you use your free will to live as you could, and that is the result of it. And whatever may come of it, you should always be like, not be proud, but understand that that is what you did. Like, it's a result of your own doing, even if it's bad or good. And you should just, I don't know, use it as like this thought of having this as this is your contribution to the world. Like, there could be really bad people who like, what is a bad person, yeah, right? But there could be like these people who kill a lot of others, but somehow they contribute to the whole of, like, it's a horrible thought, but they contribute to the whole of the universe, and to going on, and to moving on, and like, it's really a horrible thought, but that is their
Contradiction.
purpose in that body, and that is what they are doing, and it's their choice, and they are doing it. And I think that's the important thing, is to live your life as your personality would allow, and your perception would allow you to live it, how horrible it may sound.
Yeah, it just reminded me about the contradictions that you were talking before. And
You see, all proving my theory.
you're a good priest.
Yeah, thank you.
No, but yes, you talk about acceptance, and I think that's very important in this matter. It it doesn't matter what you do, and if you're conscious about it, you can learn from it. Other people, everything is influencing everything. So I would also not say that there is a waste of life. Of course, there are simple things that maybe you feel, oh, this was a waste of time. But if you have this conscious of this was a waste of time, it was not, because you already learned something out of it also. So I don't know. I think we will have to finish soon. I don't know if you want to just final comment on this, Chetan, and
Okay,
then we
ruining
will
the life.
finish.
Hello,
Yes, yes.
Andre. Okay. Since we are short of time, I'll make it quick.
Okay.
I don't think that we ever ruin our life. I never believe that. If you give $100 bill to a child, he might try to eat it, he might try to tear it off. But the same child grows up, that $100 bill for him becomes very important because he now knows the importance of it. So it's with every one of us. I agree with what Kinga said. Every time, whatever we do in our life at that point of time, we do that out of our own perception, out of our own understanding about that thing. And if I'm doing that out of my own understanding, so it's not a ruining. So everyone of us has a consciousness. At any moment of time, if I'm doing and my consciousness is not allowing, if I'm doing something which my consciousness is not allowing, that I can say it's ruining my life. But if I'm doing something, irrespective, people say it's not good, but my consciousness is allowing that, so that's not ruining. So every time, whatever you do out of your understanding about that thing. So it's not ruining. It's just enjoying. You have to just do it. And in case you feel that you are ruining your life, so you have to just. I feel you have to meditate and ask what better you should do instead of going to your religious gurus.
Yes, thank you, Chetan. Thank you so much
Very much, Andrea. Thank
for
you.
your participation. Thank you, Kinga, also. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy your lives.
Thank you,
Bye.
Andrea. Bye bye.